class. So we're going to be in Judges today. As you know, I love the Ultimate. And there was just something about it that was speaking to me this week, especially after Saturday. I'm going to go ahead and pray us in. Father, I just thank you for another beautiful day, Lord. One that I know I did not deserve, that none of us deserved. I just ask today that you would speak through me, that the words you've placed into my heart to resonate through my life might reach the ears and the hearts of the people sitting here today, God. That we would be able to walk out these things with faith and trust in you. We just love you and we praise you. All right, so go to Judges 6. We're going to talk about Gideon today. So I like the story of Gideon because it just shows how some of our faux humility and security can still end up for the good of God. Right, so 6:11. Now the angel of the Lord came and sat under the terebinth at Ophrah, which belonged to Joash the Abiezrite, while his son Gideon was beating out wheat in the winepress to hide it from the Midianites. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him and said to him, "The Lord is with you, O mighty man of valor." And Gideon said to him, "Please, sir, if the Lord is with us, why then has all this happened to us? And where are all his wondrous deeds that our fathers recounted to us, saying, 'Did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt?' But now the Lord has forsaken us and given us into the hand of Midian." And the Lord turned to him and said, "Go in this might of yours and save Israel from the hand of Midian. Do not I send you?" And he said to him, "Please, Lord, how can I save Israel? Behold, my clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house." And the Lord said to him, "But I will be with you, and you shall strike the Midianites as one man." And he said to him, "If now I have found favor in your eyes, then show me a sign that it is you who speak with me. Please do not depart from here until I come to you and bring out my present and set it before you." And he said, "I will stay till you return." So I think one of my favorite parts in this story is the way the angel of the Lord greeted Gideon. Right? Mighty man of valor. Because God can see the triumph and the success in our lives before we do. He sees who we are. Right? And Gideon's response is, "Hold on. Do you not know who I am? Where I came from? What has happened to me? All of these things that have happened to my people, all of these horrible injustices where your face seemed like it was nowhere to be found." Right? And as I was studying this out, which was prompted by the class with Sherry on Saturday, it made me start thinking about success. Right? And as little as I'd like to admit it, I have a giant fear of success. And it's not so much the success that I can control, it's the God-given success, the triumph that he has called me to. Right? Like Gideon being told that he's going to slay the Midianites as one person. Right? And it made me start thinking about how in my life I'll go to a certain point and I'll get scared. And that fear turns into doubt. Not just of myself, but I doubt that I trust God. Right? I doubt that I have the success already. Everybody in this room is highly capable. Like ridiculously capable. We've proven that time and time again for the wrong reasons. But somewhere in that mix, we go, "Oh, I'm too close to succeeding. I'm going to back up." Because what happens when I get there? What happens to my security? Right? And we're going to talk more about the security here in just a second. But it takes away what I like to call the security blanket, or our control. There are so many things in my life that God has tried to tell me to do, right? And I'll get right to the edge of it and go, can I really do that though? Like what about this person back here that's, mildly successful, whether it's relationships or jobs, or I'm okay staying in this little spot. Because if I step over, that means I have to fully trust you. That means I have to believe that there's already success. There's already triumph in my life. And I'm not quite sure if I want to let go of this little piece I have here to get the more you promised me here. Right? And that's exactly what Gideon is trying to say to him in not so many words. Like, where were you in all this? And why do you expect me to have the victory? I don't see what you see. So it goes on, 6:36. Then Gideon said to God, if you will save Israel by my hand, as you have said, behold, I am laying a fleece of wool on the threshing floor. If there is dew on the fleece alone, and it is dry on all the ground, then I shall know you will save Israel by my hand, as you have said. And it was so. When he rose early the next morning and squeezed the fleece, he wrung enough dew from the fleece to fill a bowl with water. Then Gideon said to God, let not your anger burn against me. Let me speak just once more. Please let me test just once more with the fleece. Please let it be dry on the fleece only, and on all the ground let there be dew. And God did so that night. And it was dry on the fleece only, and all the ground there was dew. God knows how hard-headed we are. God knows that we fear these successes in our lives. He knows that our trust wavers sometimes. And He's willing to, just like Gideon, if we ask, He will show up. There's a difference between asking and mocking, right? God, I am terrified, and I don't believe that I can get from point A to point B without you showing me something. And He did. He showed up and did something impossible with a piece of wool, right? And not just once, but twice. Like He knew Gideon's heart was in it, but his mind was starting to overpower the belief and the trust that he had that God was really in this fight. All he could see was the people in front of him, right? The Midianites who had destroyed and conquered and broken people for years, right? He's like, God, show me. Show me how to get there. Show me that you're going to be in this, that I'm not going to walk onto this battlefield and die, that I'm not going to walk into this interview and fail, that I'm not going to walk into this motherhood and drop the ball, that I'm not going to walk into this marriage and destroy it, right? Help me, show me. Take away this unbelief, take away this doubt. So, Judges 7. Then Jerubbaal, this is Gideon, and all the people who were with him rose early and encamped beside the spring of Harod. And the camp of Midian was north of them, by the hill of Moreh in the valley. The Lord said to Gideon, the people with you are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hand, lest Israel boast over me, saying, my own hand has saved me. Now therefore proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whoever is fearful and trembling, let him return home and hurry away from Mount Gilead. Then 22,000 of the people returned, and 10,000 remained. Do you see how Gideon was so unsure that he decided to have his own security? 30,000 people. When God was describing this situation to him, He said, I will bring the Midianites down as one man. But in his mind, he's like, oh man, there's so many of them. They're rough, they're tough. I got to get everybody behind me. His lack of trust made him create a security blanket. And God, still in His mercy and His faithfulness, was like, Gideon, listen to me. All of these people are not needed. Even if I let you win, you would believe you did it. right? Because we're really good at that. Whenever a small thing comes and we don't recognize it's God, we start to take the glory. We start to take the credit, right? I'm super guilty of that, especially on the small successes that I did have. Whether it was a job or school or something my kids did, But it's just another reminder from God that we don't need that security. We don't need that control, right? He dropped half of the people in 2 seconds. He used that fear that people had to bring himself glory, right? And the Lord said to Gideon, the people are still too many. Take them down to the water, and I will test them for you there. And any one of whom I say to you, this one shall go with you, you shall go with you. And any one of whom I say to you, this one shall not go with you, shall not go. So he brought the people down to the water, and the Lord said to Gideon, everyone who laps the water with his tongue as a dog laps, you shall set by himself. Likewise, everyone who kneels down to drink. And the number of those who lapped, putting their hands to their mouths, was 300 men. But all the rest of the people knelt down to drink water. And the Lord said to Gideon, with the 300 men who lapped, I will save you, and give the Midianites into your hand, and let all the others go, every man to his home. I always thought that part of the story was really funny, because it just shows the type of people God was sending, right? It shows the people he chose. It's not people that are logical, right? They're going to get down on their hands and knees and pick the water up to their mouths. People that are so desperate that they're going to get as close to the water as they can. They don't think about it. They just do it, right? So out of these 30,000 people, he picked 300 of the least admired, right? The ones that are desperate. The ones that want change. The ones that don't pay attention to the security, they pay attention to the success. We're going to fight this battle regardless. This might be the last water we drink, right? I always find it interesting the way God does things for us, the way he breaks it down in the simplest terms. Because it's not about us, it's not about how good we are, it's about what he has and what he has planned for us. So 30,000 to 300, I can imagine Gideon is terrified at this point, right? Going up against an army with 300 people. Talk about ripping off a security blanket. But in the back of his mind, he's like, all right, God has told me this is going to succeed. I have to do it. I've got to keep pushing forward despite what it looks like on the outside. I'm going to let my hand loose off of that security just for a little bit and see what happens. Right? But there's still that doubt. And it goes on to say that he was still so nervous that God was like, listen, go up here to the camp and listen to what these people are saying. They know who I am. They know what's about to happen. There was a couple of people talking when Gideon walks up about a dream that they had about the Lord destroying the Midianites. That's what it took for Gideon to go, all right, 100%, I'm all in. And he did. He took those 300 men and destroyed the Midianites as one person. Right? A lot of times I get wrapped up, as I know many of you do, especially in things that I can't control. The best example I have of this is like motherhood, right? You have this tiny little human, and you can't control everything that's going on, but you know that all of yourself has to be in that purpose. That all of you has to go in for there to be any kind of success. You plant and you water, but God gives the growth, right? He holds the triumph. He holds the success. My job is to trust him in that success. And say, it doesn't matter if my teenager acts crazy at 15, 16, 17. It doesn't matter if they screw up and follow some of the paths I've followed. Right? I'm going to trust him enough and stop trying to control the situation to let him do what he does. And yes, of course, I'm going to ask for a fleece, especially if it's something I really care about. I'm like, God, you got to show me something. Help me. But that's where he meets us every single time. And as cliche as it sounds, and as much as we say it here, you got to get out of the boat, right? You got to jump. Don't tiptoe, like dive. Because he wants 100% of us, and we don't give it. But he's always 100%. So as hard as it is for me to let go of that fear and that anxiety of what's going to happen if I succeed, the beautiful part of that is he already knows. And he's going to walk me through every bit of it. Success isn't what we think it is. Right? It's not the shiny car. It's not the beautiful house. Success is really being all in to whatever he has you do. Whether it's cleaning a church for the rest of your life, being a teacher. You never know, you might be a CEO or a multi-million-dollar company. But until you can let go of your security and that surety in what you have at this moment, you're never going to find out what that success is. It talks about it all through the Bible. God is a God of triumph. Doesn't matter the situation. Doesn't matter the circumstance. He wins. Right? I know that hit me really hard, especially this weekend when Sherry was going through something I've already done. And I saw that fear of success, and I was like, nah, man. But then the more I started thinking about it, I'm like, I do. Absolutely. I'm not scared to fail. Failing is just an everyday thing for me back in the day. That's nothing. But what if I make it? What if I make it to the other side? What if I succeed in this venture that he's put in my heart? What if I succeed in leading that person to the Lord? Right? It's going to crumble some of the pieces of my personality that I thought were essential. And that's scary. But as long as I've been walking with the Lord, and this super process that I've been in, I want it gone. I don't want to be deceived by it. I don't want it to be security. I want him to be my security. I want him to be my everything. I don't care what it looks like to those people out there or you guys that hear. I want to be 100% all the time because I want to go where he's leading. I want to be Gideon who sidesteps a little bit and then goes full charge. Right? Because he believes what God is saying. I don't know. I remember a time, especially at the beginning of this, which was a long time ago. I was 24 years old, right? 37. That even though I knew the power of God, I knew outwardly how much he was capable of and how much he loved me and how much he had planned for me, I didn't want it at all. I was like, no, I'm good. To see the difference between that girl and this girl right here who's like, oh my God, like it's been this the whole time? Scared to succeed? Are you kidding me? Like, who does that? Apparently me. And I know some of y'all. Like, it's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to give him. All right, Lord, I don't know what's going on. I need that fleece. I need that bowl of water in the morning to know that I'm still doing the right thing no matter how much my mind tries to take over. He just amazes me each and every day. Just the little things, the little sayings or the little sentences that could tear down years of walls and make you willing. I don't have to be willing to be willing. I'm willing. I'm done. Like, I want what you got. My encouragement for you is to get rid of it. Let it go. That security is what's holding you back. Doesn't matter if it feels good because you're in the same spot. God wants us moving forward. I don't want to stay in the same spot. Do you? I love you guys so much. And just seeing you laugh and have joy this past week made me so grateful. Because I think a lot of the times being here, we forget about that. And that's part of seeking after Him, is allowing everything He has to penetrate our lives. Whether it's revelation, joy, sadness, it all serves its purpose, right? So ask Him today. Ask Him, where am I Gideon? Show me how to just go 100 miles an hour really fast. Right. That's it. Carissa, will you pray us out, please?